Okay, guys, I'm going to talk about Super Bowl 25 a little bit. I'm a Giants fan, just for full disclosure, but I do believe that this was one of the greatest, if not perhaps the greatest Super Bowl ever. It was the first postseason game in NFL history to be turnover free. And it was a very well played game. The Bills were a high powered offense. The Giants had the best defense. It was a classic contrast in styles, and it ended up being a very close game right to the very end, with a classic finish for that matter. So, those are my arguments for it. This is what the field looked like in the game. Giants' old logos with the end zone, the Bills. And this is some postseason or post-game footage.
This is Bob Kishinsky live in the Bills locker room. You're looking at Tampa Stadium, and obviously a very somber locker room here for the Buffalo Bills, losing that 20-19 decision to the New York Giants. We're going to try and get some interviews for you as we walk through the locker room here. And Vic, if you follow us here, we'll try to get on Ken Hall. Ken Hall, center for the Buffalo Bills. Let's see if we can pick up what he's saying.
We didn't do to get here. I mean, it's a shame that we had to wait till now to do this.
I believe the Bills had one third down conversion the whole game. Why were you having difficulty in that area?
Well, I got to give a lot of credit to the Giants defense. I think they sacrificed their pass rush to get more coverage back there. And
Steve, can we talk? You were live back to Buffalo real quick here, buddy. Steve, you've been associated with our station all year. It's been a terrific season, and right now it's got to be a very tough time, not only for you but the entire organization.
Yeah, it is. It's hard. We're a couple of us were just talking. You look back and you know in your mind that you had a pretty good year, but right now it feels like we lost every game, and it feels like we should be getting the first pick of the draft next year. We feel so bad. Everything kind of washes away, all the good times we had, all the big plays, all the great times. The undefeated homestand this year. It's hard to remember. It's going to take a while to get over this.
Is there any such thing as a good defeat? I mean, some guys say 1 point defeat's worse than a lopsided defeat, but to lose in the Super Bowl by a point, I think.
Yeah, it's tough to swallow, but I know even though we lost this game, and I've told you how disappointed it is, it's still the biggest game and probably the best game I've ever been associated with.
You know that the Buffalo Bills fans will be out en masse tomorrow as the team comes back. There was a parade scheduled regardless, and I imagine you guys, as much as you feel bad for yourselves, you knew all Buffalo was watching tonight, most of the New York State.
Yeah, it was a good Super Bowl. It was exciting. It had a national appeal. It had a flavor of being more important because of the fact that we're playing it in the situation in the world that we are, and the fact that it's a beacon that shines and can let people know that that we're still kicking over here, and let the guys over in the Middle East know that our thoughts are with them, and we're just trying to play. I'm glad it was a good game, and I just wish that we'd come up a little further.
Great. Jimmy, we're live right now to Buffalo. Can we talk to you real quick, buddy? Real quick. Quarterback Jim Kelly. Jimmy, what do you ask at this point? What are your comments?
Well, it's hard, but when you write a Super Bowl script, everybody wants to come down to the last play, and that's exactly what happened. We knew we had to get the ball to the 30-yard line because we all had the confidence that Scotty can put it through. He's won so many games for us, and he's definitely not to blame. We had so many opportunities in the first half that we didn't have, and the time possession definitely well slanted their side. But we knew as an offense team when we had the football, we were going to have to score because we knew what type of offense they had.
Did they make any adjustments on defense that gave you problems?
No, it was just a matter of, there's, penalties hurt us early, drop passes, some misreads on my part. I think as an offense team, we hurt ourselves in the first half. We should have scored more than 12 points, but give the Giants a lot of credit. They came through when they had to, and when we had to take the ball down, we did. It was just one of those things that I guess it wasn't meant to be.
This is an awful tough time to reflect. You think maybe in a week, maybe a month, Just this taste of it is going to make this team that much better?
Well, we know we get the taste of what's going to take. It's just a matter of going out there and doing it. We had 50% of our dream was to make it here, 50% was to win. I guess the other 50 we're just going to have to wait for.
Great. We'll see if we can. Well, right now I'm told that we have Shane Conlon also that we taped earlier. So right now, let's throw it to an earlier interview with Shane Conlon. Shane, you talked about not being able to stop the run. In this first half, for about 2 series, you stuffed them. And right after the safety, instead of the Bills capitalizing on that play, things seem to go the other way.
It's hard to figure out. I think it's just they really had the will to win, and obviously we did too, but it was just a great classic game. It just didn't work out for us, but yeah, you'd think the momentum switched, but they never gave up, and my hat's off to them. They're the best.
It's just the kind of game this team will use to build on?
Yeah, I think we can build on anything, every game, and this is another one. Obviously, it's a big game. I think we'll know how to deal with things throughout the week and how to deal with game pressures, and we'll be back. I guarantee we'll be back.
Okay, now we have with us linebacker Darryl Talley. Darryl, you've always been one of the players that willing to talk no matter what the circumstances, and I appreciate you talking with us right now. And I'll tell you the truth, I really can't imagine what's going through your mind.
Well, right now, what's going through my mind is I got this far, I got too close, and I let it slip away. You can't afford to do that in this game.
The Giants were able to dominate the clock, run the ball. You did come up tough in the last couple of series. But what were they doing? I mean, it seemed as though the play action did take some of the pass rush away.
But what it was is a ball control offense. They came up with the play action pass, and they were able to hit us on that. And a lot of times on the boot, the boot killed us, I think, today. And a lot of times I think that was my responsibility.
99% of Buffalo is watching us right now, and I know most of those fans will be out there tomorrow when this team comes in. Do you have a message for the fans?
Thank you for supporting us, and hey, we'll give it our damnedest next year.
Bill's Locker Room Live with General Manager Bill Polian. Bill, thanks for coming over to speak to us. But we've been talking all week long. All week long you said, I don't know what the outcome's going to be, but this team is going to play tough, and that they did.
Oh, yeah. Great credit to the coaching staff and the players. Came down to 12 inches away, and they say the cliche says sports a game of inches, and it was tonight. And, we just came up on the short end, but it wasn't through any lack of effort or lack of toughness or lack of preparation. It just wasn't meant to be, I guess.
This is the type of football game where it's almost impossible to pinpoint one play and say that was the difference in the game.
No, it's impossible to, it's like a 15-round heavyweight fight. You just go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and sooner or later somebody wins. But I don't think there are any goats, and there are certainly a lot of heroes on both sides.
The Giants did exactly what you did not want them to do, and that was control the clock and run the ball on the ground.
Yeah, they ran the ball probably a little more than we would have liked them to. But give them credit, too. They're a great football team, and they're world champions, and they deserve it. And I guess from a tactical standpoint, they did that probably more than we would have liked. I kept our defense out there, but in the final analysis, we probably moved the ball better than they would have liked. Right. So, it was one of those games. As I said, 2 great teams. I think the 2 best teams, at least for this year, are here. And congratulations to them. And for us, it's back to the drawing board and try to get back to Minneapolis and win next year.
Bill, knowing the Buffalo fans, they'll turn out en masse tomorrow when this team returns. They're watching us right now. And I know you guys said all along the 12th man helped you get here, and they're listening right now.
Well, I want to pay tribute to them and thank them so much for what they've done for us. And I hope that we made them proud tonight. It's just been, it's been a good year.
Great. Right now, we're going to go to a gentleman who feels pretty low at this point, but we talked to him moments ago, field goal kicker Scott Norwood.
Well, you go through the elements of the kick that you think are going to be important at the moment, and I feel like in reflection, of course, you don't get a second try, but we have stress trying to kick the ball strongly, a bit too much. It was a strong kick. I had it very good on my foot, but maybe in doing that, I set myself up mechanically for shortcoming. Bringing the hips through, maybe they didn't come around a little bit. Maybe I didn't do it pretty quickly in plant foot. I think probably was down the field just a little further than it should be. And as a result, didn't get the type of follow through and draw that that kick needed. So.
Was the distance a problem? You seem to have enough leg.
Well, it's, you know, it wasn't going to be a problem because, again, I was going to emphasize it and kick a strong ball. I look back at a playoff game a few weeks ago where, you know, Nick Lowry tried a long attempt and had it right on target and fell short from pretty close to the same distance, a longer kick. And had he a chance to try it again, maybe he'd emphasize hitting it a bit longer. So
this is really the nature of your job, isn't it? I mean, you come in a couple seconds left on the clock. I mean, you're either the hero or you're not.
Yeah,
I mean, you have to stand and watch this game for most of the football contests. You're called in at one spot, and it's a pressure situation, and that's your profession.
Well, that is, and I realized that I let a lot of people down. There's no getting around that. But, did the best I could at the moment, and you know, I couldn't do any more.
All right, Super Bowl 25, January 27th, 1991. Giants won it 20-19 after Scott Norwood's field goal missed wide right in the final seconds.